Congratulations, Khanum! Your wife had a baby boy!
The gods have heard my plea for a son. I will call him Nesmut. I willfully sacrifice this goat in gratitude of their gracious gift.
My dear Nesmut, your father and I are so proud of you in this moment. As you go off and learn mathematics and become a priest, always think of your family.
Mother, I will never forget the love you and Father have shown me. I will go forth to the priesthood and keep my family in my heart forever. Please, sir, can you take me across the River Nile?
It will cost you 4 silver pieces.
Hello, Nesmut. We are excited to welcome you to the priesthood. Follow me, and I will show you to the temple in which we study.
It is such an honor to be considered for the priesthood.
First lesson of the priesthood is devotion to the gods. Our life and death is defined by our dedication to the mighty gods of Egypt. Our goal is to set up the afterlife of the Pharaoh, God on earth. The priesthood is focused on theology, mathematics, astronomy, architecture, and other sciences. Over the next 4 years, you will be taught all of these studies so you can serve our major gods and our God on earth, the Pharaoh.
Welcome, disciple. What is your name? Who are your elders? And what is your favorite science?
My name is Nesmut. I come from Karnak. I am the son of Khanum and Kaya. I was brought to the priesthood through my love of mathematics and its logical applications.
Welcome, Nesmut. I keep my eye on students that advance quickly. I will be watching you, and I will choose one student to make my disciple. This has its advantages, including exclusive time with the Pharaoh.
Over the year, Nesmut advanced very quickly, especially in the fields of mathematics and architecture. So quickly, he caught the eye of the high priest Horhotep and the pharaoh Seti. At the first year's feast of graduation, the pharaoh announces the election of the chosen student, who will study under the high priest.
I am excited about the opportunity to work with young Nesmut. He is a dedicated student. Other disciples should look up to his dedication. Congratulations, Nesmut. Meet me bright and early tomorrow morning so we can start on your new path of enlightenment. Nesmut, your life from here on out will be different. Students chosen to work with me are of an elite class of minds. I will advance and liberate you beyond your mind's current comprehension.
I am so honored to have this opportunity.
Nesmut and Horhotep grew closer over the months. Nesmut grew as rapidly as he astounded the high priest. During one of their architecture lessons, Nesmut showed his idea for a new temple. It was symmetrically so beautiful that the high priest wanted to use this as an opportunity to show off his prodigy to the pharaoh. After 2 full moons, Nesmut was allowed to meet with Seti, to whom he would present his temple of Leon, to be dedicated to Bast, the god in the form of a feline.
Great Pharaoh, I am honored to be in your presence. I am here to show you my idea for the new temple to be built at Aswan.
Proceed.
The idea is to have a perfectly symmetrical building with complete coordination with astrological
Nesmut
alignment.
continues, and the pharaoh is impressed with this 17-year-old genius, who has architected the idea for a phenomenal temple structure. So pleased is Seti that he strikes an order for immediate construction. This is a huge victory in the opinion of the high priest and Nesmut. Nesmut and Horotep are analyzing the farms and paddy fields of the Nile.
I just had an idea. The farms should be set up to shed the water down from the Nile and feed the lower farms in a cascading fashion. Allow me to set up a series of farms in this way to see if it saves water and allows the farms to grow grain faster.
Nesmut, an excellent idea. Please experiment with one of the pharaoh's farms on the west bank of the Nile.
Nesmut looks over the redesigned farmland. He observes the Nile above and cascading farms below, nourished by his innovative irrigation system.
Well done, young Nesmut. This is the second time you have pleased me with your genius. Your Temple of Leon is almost finished and is a wonderful dedication to the gods. He is a very special young man. I wish to give him a place in the High Council after his graduation.
He is a very intelligent disciple, and having him on the High Council is an excellent idea.
Horotep, knowing that Nesmut will be trained under his direction, believes he will soon have another puppet on the High Council.
I just had an amazing revelation last night.
And what is this revelation?
It is a surprise. I will have to share it with the great pharaoh and the priests tomorrow at the ceremony.
I am not one for surprises, but you are my luminary student, so I will trust you.
Honored pharaoh, divine priests and fellow disciples, I am privileged to give this festival speech. I have had a revelation during the last several moons and have found enlightenment. I wish to share this enlightenment with you all tonight. You are God on earth, great pharaoh, and your wish is the command of the great people of this nation. Your words and vision are tangible, and the people hear your voice. Your ideas have built Egypt to be the most advanced civilization in the world. It is time to logically call out the falsehood of these mythical gods and realize that our devotion to these false gods of Egypt are keeping this great nation down. The sacrificial food stored for the gods spoils, and the decisions the gods supposedly make are the words of the priests. Our focus should be on the great Pharaoh of Egypt, the one true God. He is a force we can touch and believe. I have never seen or heard the mythological gods speak, and in no way have they advanced our society.
Nesmut, how dare you question the sanctity of the priesthood and the telepathic connection we have with the upper gods? They will strike you down and take away your life.
Horotep, step away from the boy. He has pleased me now 3 times with his logic, and I would like to understand his theory more clearly. If the gods are so powerful, why do they not make themselves known to us? I would like Nesmut to spend some time with me.
Pharaoh, I dare not speak out at you, but if you listen to this boy, you will suffer. The gods will spite you and make you pay for his insolence.
You are on dangerous ground, Horotep. Nesmut, come with me. I wish to understand your beliefs more clearly.
Disciples, return to your lodges and prepare for class. Fellow priests, meet me at the temple of Isis.
Nesmut, what you have said today seriously threatens the priesthood. Please explain to me your full and total logic. If any other disciple had said what you have, they would have been punished immediately. But because of your success, I trust that you have a genius which you will share with me now.
Honorable Pharaoh, I watch every day as the priests pray, and with every prayer they make promises of the afterlife. My logic speaks to me that things that are tangible and make a difference are what we should focus on. The advancement of Egypt depends on our ability to progress science. The gods are holding us back, and you are God, Pharaoh. I can touch you, hear and feel your presence. You change the course of people's lives in the way that Egypt grows. I have yet to see in life, or in my studies, any benefit of the mythological gods. Only that the priests use them as a tool to control the people and your decisions. They control us with fear and make us give sacrifices which rot in their honor. Why would such benevolent gods allow some people to starve and others to stuff their faces before them?
Interesting insight, young Nesmut. People may not understand the depth which you have found in your studies. I will listen to your idea and focus less on mythological gods and more on advancement of Egypt.
Great Pharaoh, I am concerned that I have disappointed the high priest. He seemed very angry with me, so angry that I fear for my life.
Fear not, young Nesmut. You can stay at the palace until we convince Horotep that this is another experiment which could help Egypt grow.
Thank you.
Fellow priests, my disciple has betrayed us in our sanctity. This is a dangerous time for our position and livelihood in the fabric of Egyptian society. We are the keys to the door to the mythological gods, and we cannot have this foolish boy destroy our position.
What should we do?
We must scare the pharaoh and destroy the boy. The pharaoh must believe that the gods are upset with him. We must send down a plague upon him and make him realize that if he spites the gods, they will spite him.
And how will we do that?
We can't always guarantee with praying, but we can create a plague and blame it on the boy.
Are you saying we pray for a plague?
After exceptionally heavy rainfall this year, northern Africa is flooded. The dreaded locusts are now preparing to swarm. We must lure the locusts to the pharaoh's farms and blame the boy.
Excellent.
Pharaoh, the great gods have warned me that you are making a serious mistake taking advice from the boy. They have told us they will punish you for it with plagues.
Do not threaten me with your absurdity. Do you think me a fool? The boy is correct. The priesthood has been deceiving the pharaohs and lying to the people of Egypt to ensure their position in society. You have been treated like kings by scaring the people, by making them buy into your beliefs. They are false gods which you have scared me with, and your forefathers scared my father before me. Egypt will rise beyond the false gods and become greater than it is today.
I am astonished with what you have to say. But let this be a warning. The gods have told us of a locust plague which will corrupt all of your farms and kill all of your livestock.
Let us see what happens.
Several days passed and the priest set up for the locust plague. It destroyed all of the farms and left the townspeople skeptical in the pharaoh and his decision to trust the young Nesmut.
My dear Nesmut, the people are becoming skeptical because of this plague. What do you, in your wisdom, believe is a way to resolve this problem?
When I was studying in the priesthood, we studied about action and reaction. I believe the plague is not the spiting of the gods, but the result of several scientific rationales.
Do you have any idea what may have caused this action?
Well, actually, this plague is a reaction and not the action. It is in reaction to the exceptionally heavy rainfall this year that has caused flooding in northern Africa. This causes the dreaded desert locust to swarm.
Now I see. I would like to set up an audience with the high priest. Could you please tell my servants to set up an audience with me and Horotep?
So you have tasted the sour grapes of betraying the gods, and you would like for me to help you regain your respect from them?
How presumptuous, Horotep! It is my understanding that the flooding has caused the locust and not the spite of any god.
Be careful, Pharaoh. The gods are less forgiving than I am.
I didn't ask for your forgiveness, or the forgiveness of your false gods. Get out of the palace and never betray me again.
I leave your greatness, but you will come looking for me.
Horotep leaves the palace very displeased. He calls another meeting at the temple of Isis.
The pharaoh has figured out our first plague, but our next plague will leave many dead and make him change his mind.
What do you have in mind?
I believe it is time to resurrect the dead. Some of you will strike fear and terror into the minds of the godless Egyptian people. Half of you will be partially mummified and rise out to murder several townspeople, as well as some of the Pharaoh's guards. But do not kill the boy. I want to kill him myself.
Over the next couple of days, the priests began their partial mummification and creation of deathly creatures. At dusk, when Seti and Nesmut are discussing further progression of Egypt, they begin to hear women and children scream. Shocked by these sounds, the pharaoh sends out his guards to see what's going on. But before his guards can even leave, reports arrive bearing news of supernatural slayings taking place in the city.
Guards, please go and find out what's causing these screams.
Pharaoh, the undead are killing people in the towns.
The undead? What are you talking about?
There are mummies that have risen from the dead and they are attacking and killing our people.
Get me Horotep. Nesmut, what is this? What is this a reaction to?
I thought you would be looking for me.
Do not mock me.
I do not have to. The gods are already doing a good enough job.
What is the meaning of this? Why have the dead risen and why are they attacking the people of Egypt?
The gods are very unhappy with your majesty. They are punishing your people as a way to punish you. They won't stop until you rectify the wrongs you have done by denouncing them.
What do they want me to do?
Now you're listening. They want you to show your alliance to them by destroying the one that made you change your feelings in the beginning. The boy needs to be destroyed, or you will keep suffering the plagues and have the miserable afterlife. You know what you must do.
Please leave us. I wish to be with the boy.
He must die now!
Nesmut, I trusted you. I believed in you, and I feel betrayed.
I have never betrayed you.
Stop all this talk. Your words have poisoned the ear of the Pharaoh long enough.
Do what must be done.
Nesmut falls to the floor dead. Seti's heart is broken and he is devastated.
Your Highness, the living dead are actually living priests costumed to fool us. They are killing our people.
Seti feels dead inside. He has murdered his one true and faithful priest. He will avenge this death.
Speak of this to no one. Bring Horotep and the priests to me. Gentlemen, I was foolish in listening to young Nesmut. I have murdered him and followed the instructions of Horotep. However, I was even more foolish in listening to Horotep than Nesmut.
What?
I know what you all have done. I know that you pretended to be the undead and murdered Egyptian citizens, as well as put blood on my hands for the death of Nesmut.
Do not listen to this heretic!
Silence! You have shown no compassion and have been obsessed with your own interests. For you foolish priests who follow his lead as if his words were given to you by the gods, you will be punished. Your lack of compassion will be reciprocated with a lack of compassion. You will all be poisoned and buried with rats, so that they may keep you company in your afterlife. Guards, give these men their last meal. As they eat, the food will sour in their bellies and take them to their afterlives. If any refuse to eat, they will be buried alive and left for the rats to take care of in this life and the next. I personally must live the rest of my life with a horrible pain in my heart. I am giving Nesmut a pharaoh's burial in the hopes that he will speak to me in the afterlife.
And so came the end of the priesthood in Egypt, and the future of Egypt was much brighter without the control of the priests. Nesmut did receive a pharaoh's burial, as well as several monuments erected in his honor.